guys, my name is Shawn Durington. I draw a lot of different things. One of my favorite things to draw is superheroes and monsters. And AwesomeCon and Rose City Comic Con LeftField Online has asked me to come and kind of help you guys learn how to do Spider-Man. So we're going to have a lot of fun today. I'm going to ask a couple questions. We're going to go ahead and start drawing Spider-Man, but I'm going to have to change my camera over. So you're going to see a little bit of a change right here, and then we can go ahead and start drawing. So what you'll see is you can kind of see I'm working on an iPad, but you guys can go ahead and work on a piece of paper if you want, whatever you want to draw with. But the things that I like to do is I like to kind of start out with drawing some nice simple shapes. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, I draw some nice simple shapes. So I'll start with kind of like circle shapes for its head. So Spider-Man's got kind of a circly head. I'm going to do a fun little version of him where he's kind of cute and fun, but we're going to start out with kind of a circle head. We're going to give him kind of a big body. And while we're doing the drawing, we are going to go ahead and get to do lots of different stuff in here to make him look nice and complete. So as you see, I'm kind of sketching mine right now. You don't have to actually worry about having a perfect drawing to begin with. You can go ahead and start with your little sketches. That way you can mess up, you can fix things as you go, but I've added like my eyes in now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a second little surrounding of the eyes. Okay, so as you see, I'm just kind of sketching these out. It does not have to be perfect. I always want to remind everybody that you never have to be perfect when you draw. You can always go ahead and clean it up later. But we can add some arms to Spider-Man with some little rectangle shapes. All right. They're basically going to kind of come back like that. And we'll be able to add another little rectangle like this. Now, one of the things I like to do is some of the trivia with you guys. So if you guys want, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to ask some questions as we're drawing today. One of the things I want to go ahead and ask you, should be a pretty easy one. Can the first person who tells me what Peter Parker, oh, I just messed up. Can the first person who tells me what Peter Parker's aunt's name will win a prize? What is Peter Parker's aunt's name? Because I accidentally messed up my first question. Okay, and while you guys are typing in your answers, I'm going to keep drawing. We're going to add some legs to Spider-Man. So I'm going to have one leg that's kind of up in the air. I'm going to have another one that's kind of stuck out. We can go ahead and start adding a couple little details in here so that we can so Joseph, congratulations. You got it correct. They will be in touch with you on Facebook to get your information, and you will get a little prize. And I will show you what prize you get at the end of this little drawing workshop. So I'm going to sit here. I'm going to add some fingers to Spider-Man here. We're going to do the little U-shaped fingers. Okay. I know my hand kind of gets in the way because I'm left-handed. All right, but we add that. We can add a little thumb on it. I just kind of go with U shapes, make it nice and easy for everybody. All right, we can draw a little kind of circular finger. That way he can kind of be making that little thwip motion that he does with the web shooters. We can add some little thumbs around that. And little fingers to kind of finish it off. We have two little simple hands. So we're keeping very simple, very loose sketches right now. We're not worrying about completing everything to the best that it can look. We can always go back and adjust that. I'm going to go ahead and add a foot to this back leg so it's kind of hanging out in the air, kind of swinging in the back. All right. Hopefully I'm not moving too quick for everybody, but if I am, just kind of stay along with me. But I'm going to give you guys a couple of moments to catch up from time to time. And then as I'm doing my cleanup work, what you can do is you can kind of finish up. So I'm going to start on Spider-Man's chest right here. So Spider-Man's chest has that little spider. So I kind of do a little couple of dots there, and I give a couple little legs. We're doing a very simple cartoony one. So I know some people that are watching this have always kind of wondered what you want to do, how you get started with cartoons and everything. But I like to go with cute cartoons. Some people like to go with dark cartoons. Comics is another form of cartoons. So as you can see, when you say you're a cartoonist or something like that, you kind of fit in all sorts of different things. All right. So from here, I've kind of got all my basic shapes. We have our hands up here, we have our feet up here, we have our legs up here. Now I'm just going to go here and break down some of his costume. So I'm going to go ahead and sketch in where like it changes up, where we might have a couple lines coming out. That way we can draw those web shapes on his costume. So I'm just drawing a bunch of these little lines like this. We can maybe give them a little nose shape to help out. We can draw some lines coming down on the body. Okay, we can add a couple of lines in the feet. And we'll add a couple of lines in the hand. All right, so now that we've gotten this far, what I want to kind of see is who can tell me the name of the newspaper that Peter Parker works for? What was the newspaper that Peter Parker worked for? If you can answer that question, you can get a prize. All right. So while you guys are answering that, what I'm going to do is now that I have kind of my basics of my Peter Parker done, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to clean up my picture some. So I'm going to start with a black and I'm going to take it a little bit slower. I'm going to clean up a little bit of these lines. So I'm going to add around the body. And as you see, I'm just going to kind of work around. I'm not going to be as quick with my sketching. I might take some time to kind of roll things out. Okay. And Joseph was first to answer. All right. And we have Daily Bugle. All right. So there we go. We have the second question done. I'm going to obviously have to do a tougher question for the next one, hopefully. All right. As I'm going about this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep cleaning up my lines so that I can get my Spider-Man looking nice and neat. So we can go ahead and draw him. I'm going to go ahead and keep working on some of these. If you guys have questions for me at this time, you can go ahead and ask me and I'll answer while I'm working on these. But please go ahead and ask anything you've ever wanted to ask about working with doing cartoons, coming up with character design, stuff like that. And I will try and help the best I can answer them. So if anybody has any of those questions, just throw them right out there and they will let me know what we have. Other than that, I'm going to keep kind of sketching in here, cleaning up my Peter and my Spider-Man sketch. Okay, so we're going to just keep on cleaning up. What I'm going to do in the face is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep drawing these lines in, but now we need to make them look a little bit like spiders, spider webs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some little curve shapes. And the more curved shapes you have, the more it looks like a spider web. So they're kind of like N shapes or upside down U shapes. Okay. So I believe it's Terry asked, is your software layer so you can take out the sketch? Yes. So normally what I do is I end up doing the sketch, get it the way I want, and then I'll go over with a pen tool and clean up. That way it's a nice crisp line. So when I'm working, it goes in various stages. So what I do is I do a layer for sketching, a layer for cleanup, and then I will do another layer that will basically be for color, and then I'll add in all the other stuff. So I'm not going to be doing that with you guys because you guys don't want to have to see somebody paint an entire picture, I don't think. But what I'm going to do is I will go ahead and start coloring in using these as a basic line. But if you're using just regular paper and drawing over it, one thing that you can do with paper is you can always have a piece of paper that goes over top. And you can kind of trace directly over top of it when you're ready to go. You can use what's called a light box for that, but there's lots of different ways that you can sit here and work on all these different things. So, when did I come up with this design? Honestly, I think I drew this one probably about a year and a half ago, and I did like my little tutorial for it to teach kids how to draw Spider-Man. And I just kind of had fun with it. it's just a whole lot of fun for me to take some famous characters and make them into my own version. And I've definitely gotten more and more of those done recently during this lovely pandemic we have. Like I've definitely focused in a lot on Harry Potter at this time and done a whole bunch of Harry Potter characters. And I've only done a few of the superheroes, but I have like a Thanos that I've done that's kind of fun. Um, and they will flash up my website on the chat at one point, and you can actually go there and look at some of those tutorials, and you're more than welcome to try doing some of those different designs right there too. I know they gave a link to the Spider-Man tutorial, so you're more than welcome to download that and kind of draw this as much as you want. But yeah, so I just have a lot of fun coming up with different designs. I like to keep mine because I do have a background with Disney. Um, so I tend to keep mine very cartoony, animated, and kid friendly. So I love drawing monsters and all sorts of things like that. But when I'm working, I just kind of like, I'll take 5 or 6 tries at something. I'll just kind of, as I'm working, just kind of have some fun with it. Stuff might not look the way I want to begin with, and I just restart. Not a big deal. You can always restart with artwork. That's always one thing that I like to do. Um, Other than that, it's one of these things that we can sit here and we can just keep building up on the picture. So I know my hand's completely in the way right now. Um, but let's say we want to add some more design to it. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a little. So with the print that we are giving away, I added a background to it. So I started with some large shapes that we're going to be building. So I'm going to draw those as soon as I get these last little outlines done. Okay. Um, and while I'm finishing up these outlines, I'm going to ask another question. Let's just see. You might know the answer to this one too. We're going to get a little trickier. But what year did Spider-Man make his first appearance? What year did Spider-Man make his first appearance? Okay. I'm just going to keep working while you guys are looking for that answer or figuring that answer out. And I'm just going to keep adding these little spider webs. These are probably the most tedious thing about drawing Spider-Man is just drawing lots of these little spider webbings all around him. Okay. And we are just almost done with doing these outlines now. Laura is the first to answer correctly this time, and she got it with 1962, which was Amazing Fantasies number 15. So they will get your information as well, and I will be sending out a little prize for you. Hopefully, you enjoy it. It's actually going to be one of these pictures in sticker form. So we are going to be doing that. So you guys who are answering trivia questions correctly are going to be getting a free vinyl sticker from me. It will get out in the mail probably next week, and you can look forward to sticking it on your car, your phone, laptop, whatever you want to do. So I hope you're having fun so far. All right. One of the things that I like to do with the backgrounds is so you guys were asking about the layers. So one of the things I might do is I might come and make a new layer just so I can draw a background with it. What I'll do is I'll probably just sketch out a quick little building. And like these are going to be very simple buildings. I'm not going to go kind of crazy, but I kind of want to just have simple buildings. So I kind of have those buildings back there, but I can then just kind of erase what's gone over. We can add some more buildings for a skyscraper scene. Let's see, we can add, let's just do a couple that are kind of behind this. And we'll just do some very flat buildings back here. Very simple flat buildings. It is Spider-Man. All right. Um, let's see. While I'm adding these, I'm going to just ask another question. If somebody can figure this one out, it might be a good way to get a prize. But how fast can Spider-Man go while he's swinging? How fast can Spider-Man go while he is swinging? So it's one of those things that like I never knew this until like I really started looking it up. If you guys know this answer, I'm going to be completely surprised. but I'm sure somebody out there knows enough about Spider-Man to answer this correctly. So I'm just adding some little things on top of my building. So I'm going to add a little satellite dish just for fun. Um, we can add like a moon up in the sky. We can do all sorts of things. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color in a little bit on Spidey now. We'll do a little bit of darker colors. So we're going to have some blue in here. It's not quite a good blue form. Let's go a little bit darker. So we are going to do this. And I'm still seeing. We're going to kind of just color this in. Hopefully you guys are coloring at home and having a good luck coloring. You can have some markers, crayons, color pencils, all sorts of different things. Michelle Manning got it correct and said 200 miles per hour. I couldn't imagine moving that quick on just a little piece of string. I know it lasts and everything, but man, 200 miles per hour, way too quick for me. I don't even want to drive my car that quick, much less just swing out there with no helmet or anything. But Spider-Man's a way better person than I am. All right, so I'm just coloring in at this point and just kind of having fun, kind of coloring these guys in. Hopefully, you guys are having fun at home. Next thing, what I will do is I'm going to ask. We're going to go ahead and ask another question, just because the trivia is kind of fun. This one's a little tricky. Can anyone actually answer the year that the first time Spider-Man appeared in a cartoon? So, what was the year that Spider-Man first appeared in a cartoon? All right. So as you see, I'm kind of sketching this one in. I can always clean this up to look a little bit better by the time it's all said and done, but this is just one of these fun little tutorials with you guys. So I do this a lot. You guys can check out a bunch of tutorials on my website. If you ever have questions, you're more than welcome to like send me a message. I have some books that teach how to draw. So if you, your kids, or friends, family that you might think would like to draw, you can get them something like that and they will have that all up there for me. Hopefully I didn't miss the answer just then because I was looking down too much coloring. Okay. All right. And we're just adding Spidey's colors. You can take the same form if you want and change the outfit of Spidey and just keep the same like body shape to it. You can move some of these designs around. So like the legs are in different positions, arms are in different positions. But we are just about finished with this. Still looking to see if anybody has that answer. Okay. I may have stumped some people on this one. All right. So we'll do this and we'll give you guys time until I finish up this last little bit, and I will go ahead and reveal the answer. And I'll give you guys another shot. So we're just about finished with that. The answer to that question is 1967. And that was the Spider-Man cartoon. 1967 was the first time that they had a Spider-Man cartoon. Um, Now, another question, just to give you guys another chance, is one thing you can do is you can tell me the two sidekick superheroes he had in 1981 during Spider-Man's cartoon. Who were his hot and cold superhero partners? Who were Spider-Man's hot and cold superhero partners? Okay. While we're doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of just color to this picture just to kind of make it look a little bit more finished. And as you see, I'm just kind of sketching this in pretty quick. Okay, we'll do like some purple buildings in the background. That way it looks like there's some purple lighting. All right, Kaz King, correct with the answer of Iceman and Firestar in Spider-Man's Amazing Friend or Amazing Spider-Man's Amazing Friends. Yes. All right. And so we'll go with, I got another question I can ask you guys. Most everybody is going to know this one. But in 2011, we were introduced to a brand new person that would be Spider-Man. Who was that brand new person who became Spider-Man in 2011? Little sketches here. You can hear me kind of sketching right along my iPad there. All right. So the answer to that question, I'm going to let you guys figure out. I've pretty much figured out most of my sketch. Okay, we have an answer from Jason Ruby. Jason guessed Miles Morales became the next Spider-Man. All right, and we're going to do just one more question, I think, and then I'm going to let you guys go ahead and ask me any questions that you guys want. I'm going to switch my camera back, but can anybody tell me how many Spider-Man cartoons have been made? There's a number between 1 and 10 of how many Spider-Man cartoons that have been made. And you're going to see me kind of switch my camera over again because we have this about kind of finished up here. All right, so you're going to see my lovely face again. Okay, so the question was, how many Spider-Man cartoons have been made? This is just going to want to be those really tricky questions. Other than that, you guys can start typing in some questions for me if you have any questions. If not, we will be all set to go whenever you guys are done. I do want to announce that there was a print winner. The print was of Spider-Man, this pretty much same scene, except it's actually a finished print. And I want to congratulate Jennifer J. from Alexandria, Virginia, who won this. I have your information and will be sending it out to you. So congratulations, Jennifer. And Alex Adams floated in an answer of 8. He got the correct number of Spider-Man cartoons that have been named, which is 8. They have made 8 different ones. There's been one with Neil Patrick Harris. There's been all sorts of them. We've had bad ones. We've had good ones. All sorts of different things. But I hope you guys have had a lot of fun. But does anybody have any questions for me? I know I really can't see you guys reacting to me, but hopefully you guys have some questions. And I will just wait to see if anything gets typed up real quick. And while I'm doing this final thing, if you have a question, I will ask one more final question for everybody. This is one of my favorite ones. Most of the time, Spider-Man is human, but there is a version of him that is an animal. What animal is that Spider-Man? And that will be the final question we do today. And hopefully everybody had lots of fun drawing Spider-Man with me today. I thank you guys for joining me. I look forward to seeing you guys at shows once this year kind of gets over and we can get back to our normalcy. I miss seeing everybody at conventions and getting to draw with everybody there and kind of talking to people and getting to socialize with people. So hopefully you guys will like go over to my Facebook page or Instagram and go ahead and ask me like whatever you want if you think about it later. But Alex comes in with the answer of a pig. Spider Ham, also known as Peter Porker. I'm told I do have a couple of questions. So once those questions come to me, I will go ahead and answer them the best as possible. Who is my favorite character to draw? Asked Kaz King. Oh man. So I really like drawing more obscure stuff, but one of my favorite characters to draw is Archimedes from Disney's Sword in the Stone. He's a little owl. He's just so expressive. He's got a lot of fun to him. He's kind of a quirky little guy. So if I have to pick like probably my favorite character to draw, I would probably say Archimedes from Sword in the Stone. However, I love drawing so many different Disney characters, especially villains. Villains are the best to draw. They have such fun expressions. They have fun looks to them. But yeah, so I would probably go with that. All right. So our next one, how long have I been drawing? Okay, so technically I've been drawing since I was like 5 or 6. I drew like a bunch of stuff, but professionally, I kind of really only started drawing about 5 years ago. I wasn't taking things seriously. I kind of went to art school as a undergraduate, but I also got an art education degree. So I taught in school and I taught kids how to draw. I taught middle school. After a few years of that, I decided I wanted to go ahead and get my animation degree. So I went back in 2011, and what that did is I ended up doing a little bit of training with a Disney mentor. She kind of told me that I wasn't taking things serious enough, which was completely true. And in about 2013, I was drawing around 10 to 15 characters a day. And that just kind of boosted me from here drawing wise to like much higher up here. And I would have never been to the level I was without having to do that. So the best thing I can tell you, it doesn't matter if you've been drawing several years, several months, but the more you draw, the better you become at everything. So it's kind of like if you're playing sports, if you're playing music, the more you practice at it, the better you become. But so I guess you could say probably about 6 years professionally and probably about 15 to 20 years just as kind of for fun. So, um, hopefully you guys had a lot of fun today. I know we're just about out of time. It looks like we don't have any more questions coming in, but I thank you guys all for joining me. Um, I'm so glad you got to have fun with me, and I hope to get to talk to you guys in person soon at one of the shows. Till then, I guess I will say bye for now. Stay tuned. Make sure to keep coming to Left Field Online and seeing all the fun events they're doing, and hopefully we'll get to do something else. So I hope everybody had a great time. Bye, guys.